on. We're recording. There it is. It's always a surprise.
There we go. Record.
There's the can snap.
The show does not begin until I open a can, guys.
A can of what?
All right. Today I'm drinking a lovely bright pink can of strawberry peach flavored LaCroix because I am a fucking alpha male. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That is
French
like a real bro,
dude.
chugging his LaCroix.
I am so secure in my manhood that I can drink this on camera and not feel the slightest bit gay at all. In spite of the fact that I'm holding up a cylindrical, almost flesh tone thing to my mouth.
Oh, they're coming for you. They're going to come for you in the comments.
Buddy, I used to live in Orlando, okay? They tried to come for me when I was 22.
I'm not even talking about the gays. Like, the gays, like, I think the gays are done with you. I'm just talking about, like, the manosphere bros. They're all going to come for you.
Oh, they're going to say, well, aren't they the same guys that said that having sex with women was gay, like, a couple months ago?
What that's Andrew Tate's hot take.
Yeah, you know...
Well, no. If you enjoy having sex with women, if you do it for just anything besides making children, then you're gay. So,
but that's gay.
Ew, you're gay. Ew, you're gay.
You didn't knock up your girlfriend too young. You're a homo. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That reminds me of this, and not to go too far off track, because this is supposed to be a sports show. But I read one of those stupid, like, angry from the opposite side of the spectrum, like because Andrew Tate's like the woman-hating man. Then you have like the man-hating women, like the misandrists. And I saw an article years ago that giving a woman an orgasm is sexist. So like, it's all full circle, my dude.
These are both people that hate joy.
Yeah.
They just
Exactly.
hate joy. And they want other people to be as miserable as them because.
All right, let's talk sports, guys. Speaking of people that hate joy,
right.
The Yankees did not allow any joy to the Milwaukee Brewers.
They did not.
This past weekend, they allowed them to lead for, I believe, it was 1/2 of one inning. Other than that, it was just a pure prison-style beatdown, and I enjoyed it.
It was a sweep, right?
Yeah. They massacred him. I mean,
it was like what, 8 home runs in like the second game?
Nine home runs. And the all-time record, for those of you who are wondering, is 10 set by the Blue Jays back in the 80s. I so wanted them to get 10 or 11 just to say that we had the all-time, that the Yankees had the all-time record of single game home runs.
And Aaron Boone was part of a record-setting Reds team that hit 9. Because they were like, what'd you think of this game? And he's like, well, I lived it before. Okay, Aaron.
I wasn't able to watch the Mets, but man, I was like, oof, not a great start.
Let me tell you about the Mets. I actually did follow a little bit of it. It was on in the work cafeteria the other day. I watched a little. Let me tell you, Brian, the Juan Soto investment so far is looking like a smart one because he is the only guy in the entire team who is getting on base and hitting the baseball into the field. It's the literal only guy. Yeah. So good for them.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
We won the second game, and I saw the home run that he got, which is great. But like, I'm like, oof, I don't know. Everyone is saying this is our year, and now I'm like, I mean, it's still too early.
Listen,
way too early.
Okay. Small sample size. Everything that happens opening week in baseball always gets magnified. I'm going to tell you this, and not to insult you and the Mets, Brian, but I don't think the Mets pitching is as good as it looked this weekend because the pitching actually was good. They only lost by like a run or two in every game. And I don't think the offense is nearly as bad as it looked in these couple of games. So I see that switching somewhere along the way. And I will repeat what I said a few weeks ago on the show. I think the Mets are a team. They're more built to win games like 10-8, 8-6, as opposed to winning games 3-1 and 2-1. So we're going to see. My prediction is we're going to see those roles kind of switch, and it's going to kind of go back in the other direction at some point.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. And here's the thing: I haven't really dug into the tornado bat gate. If it's a gate yet,
it's torpedo, not tornado.
Torpedo, yeah, torpedo.
What did I say? Tornado?
Tornado, yeah.
Torpedo. The tornado bat, wasn't that? Wait, Mike, help me out here. Wasn't the tornado bat? Remember the bat that had liquid in it that you could play wiffle ball with?
It sounds vaguely familiar.
The liquid bat. It was a thing when I was a little kid. I remember I got one for a friend for his birthday.
You shake it, and then the liquid comes out. Is that what it was?
Well, I guess the idea is because when you swing it, the liquid all goes to the fat part of the bat, so it hits it harder, right? I think that's
You missed my joke, but anyway, the torpedo bat is kind of like
he was making a
The controversy with this bat happened. So let's get into it. Here's my quick thoughts on it. So the bat is legal. It was used by two guys in the Yankees, Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe. Apparently, according to Trevor Plouffe, I forgot how you say his name. It was used by Lynn. Yeah, Lindor used one last year. Another guy, I think, on Cleveland used one. You know, you cannot come into the game like we were talking before the show, Phil. You cannot come into the game with this bat just magically. I mean, the umpires check your hands, they check your gloves, they're checking everything now. So
no more sticky stuff, no fun allowed.
So it's legal. The thing is, of course, it was used during the 9-home run game. It was the Yankees, and it is now looked at as cheating. If you want to make a case that it's legal, you want to make a case like, but you know, you're messing with the bat, and it's like, you know, like what do you call it?
The one question is the one question I have is like, if it is legal, then, and this isn't even an accusation against the Yankees, but if it's legal, then why just other teams just get the same bats?
They can't. They just haven't.
I mean, like, it just seems like a way to level the playing field. Like, instead of being upset, to me,
everybody get them. Yeah.
Instead of being upset that if it's a legal bat to use, instead of being upset that they're using these bats, just do it yourself. Just fucking use the bats.
So let me explain the legality of it.
Shit that happens every year.
Yeah. Let me explain the legality of this for the shitheads who think that this is not legal. So the way the rule is in the MLB is that there's a maximum width you can have the bat, right? But they don't specify that has to be the end of the bat. So you can have that thickest part anywhere on the bat. So what the Yankees did, they just kind of moved it in. They just kind of moved it right in. They just kind of really just moved it from one end to the other, and well, not to the other, but they moved it slightly in. So it is within the rules. It is legal. There's no question of they're cheating. They're not cheating. They went to the manufacturer. They went to the league. Everything got approved. There is no cheating involved in this. It's just other teams are salty because they didn't think of it first. And I want to say one more thing, Mike. Hold on before you.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
If this weren't any team other than the Yankees, people wouldn't be flipping out about it. No. It's just that people's default stance is like, I hate the Yankees. So they have to act like it's this whole entire thing. What are we doing here?
So not to interrupt you, but this goes with what we're saying. Yahoo Sports put out a list of players this season using the torpedo bat. So it is being used around the league. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Goldschmidt did use one. Bellinger did use it. Okay, I maybe the second day they used it. The first day they said they didn't.
Yeah, but look, the Cubs, Lindor used it.
Lindor.
Yeah. So Sal from WFAN can shut his fucking stupid face about bitching about the Yankees. Okay.
Jose Trevino, Adley Rutschman. You know, that might be the biggest name on the list.
Right? No, I think Lindor is the biggest name on this list.
Lindor, right. Okay, Lindor.
I think for sure. Second biggest probably would be Adley, and then the guys who play for the Yankees. But yeah, anybody who's hating on this, they're just mad that their team didn't think of it first. And to answer Brian's question from a minute ago, why don't they just get it? They are. And I guarantee you that by the halfway point of this season, you're going to be seeing a lot more players use it, especially guys that can't get their hands around quick enough and tend to get jammed a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of an easy, again, like that being more of an elevated sports fan, I guess, instead of just being fucking primates that we all know in sports. Like the elevated thinking is, okay, this is legal to use. This is not cheating. It's not like they're sign stealing like the Astros who did blatantly cheat. I'm really just jerking off you Yankee fans today. Like I'm like really pushing the propaganda.
Get a good grip around it, Brian. Just give it to us, baby. Okay,
like the tornado bat. Yeah,
let's go.
But yeah, just choking up on the wood. But it's not like that's my thing. It's just like, okay, it's not like they're stealing signs, and if we can use them, then let's just use them. Then I don't know. To me, it just seems like, I mean, again, it's too early, but like just to complain about it and not do anything about it just seems so stupid.
Well, and again, they're only complaining because it's the Yankees, and people love to try to accuse the Yankees of cheating. If this were the Angels or the Rockies, the Padres, any any team, the Braves, whatever, nobody would care. They'd be like, "Oh, they're so innovative. That's cool. Well, I can't wait till my team gets it."
Baseball science. Yeah.
Oh, you fucking Yankees suck, and yeah. You know,
well,
shut up.
It's also when like, it's the same thing when Verlander was complaining about like the manufacturing of baseballs at one point.
Oh, the juice ball year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to say before. Yeah.
And it's just like he was saying it was like easier to hit home runs, but it's just like, okay, then just pitch better. Just to throw better pitches that will also make them strike out. How about that? How about you just pitch the ball?
Yeah, what would Justin Verlander know about pitching?
Yeah.
So that's our thoughts on that. Non-Yankee fans can, as usual, line up and blow us because they wouldn't be saying it if it were any other team. Even if it were another big market team, if it were like the Red Sox or even the Astros, I don't think anybody would give a shit. Okay,
maybe the Astros.
But because the Yankees,
still
there's a big old magnifying glass on it.
Yeah.
And everyone's got an opinion on it. But I do think within a month or two, the whole rest of the league are going to have guys trying it out to see if they like the bat or not. And good for them. Nobody really should care. It's just, and also too, one last thing about this before we get to the other part of the show is that people are saying, oh, you know, it's not fair to hit all these home runs. Well, guess what happened to the same pitching staff today, the Milwaukee pitching staff? They got knocked around by the Royals in their own house. So maybe they're just not a good team at pitching.
It was a perfect storm the other day for the Yankees. They hit 9 home runs in the game. They obliterated the Brewers. They were facing their old teammate, so they probably knew how to hit off of him, you know, and not all the home runs were hit with torpedo bats anyway.
That was Nestor Cortez's penance for giving up that grand slam in the World Series. Was that he had to go back to Yankee Stadium to get knocked around by his former team.
BT Dubs. The Mets are absolutely destroying the Marlins right now.
Yeah, was it 10-2?
It's 10-2.
Alonso hit a grand slam.
See what I mean? The Mets offense
Alonso hit a grand slam too. Nice. He's going to be the one to watch this season.
Alonso.
Oh, Pete Alonso.
I think he'll have a good
year. I don't know if he did like Ozempic steroid speedball, but like dude is yoked up. Like he's slimmed down and he's
not the polar bear.
He's not the polar bear anymore.
Jacked.
He's not flabby.
Yeah, exactly. So everything I said is coming true, and the Marlins are terrible. All right. So do we want to get to the reactionary part of the show, there, fellas?
Yeah. Well, I'll quickly say. So we tried to go to a Knicks game. It was too expensive. So it was Walt Clyde Frazier's 80th birthday, which is pretty amazing. So there's a few games left. So we're gonna get into some playoff basketball talk soon. But this week I think was more overshadowed by the start of the season.
Opening day, baby.
Opening
weekend for baseball.
Yeah. So let's go. Well, I just mentioned basketball, and maybe we'll go to this first. We have some commercials, but there was a brawl. Remember when we used to talk about brawls?
We haven't done them in a while, but let's do it. Let's do a brawl.
Do it.
So this is Dante DiVincenzo, former Knick, on Minnesota. This is against Detroit. I forget the guy in Detroit. This just happened last night.
Last night. Wow.
Yeah. We'll probably get flagged for this. So, but whatever.
Not everything we cover on this show is from the 70s.
Yeah. So basically, you'll see there number 28 on. I don't know that is on the Pistons.
Whoa!
There's a little trash talking,
a little Napoleon complex, real quick from DiVincenzo.
Yeah, this is a little, little bumping, little hitting here.
I love how you say Napoleon complex. It's the NBA. He's probably like 6'2", but like
I was about to say, but that is a Napoleon complex in the NBA.
Oh, wait.
Man syndrome.
Getting chippy. It's getting chippy.
The only place where you can feel short and be that tall.
Yeah. So this is kind of the precursor to it all. Let's skip ahead. Now here's where it gets insane. They're all trash talking. Now here we go.
Whoa. That's a real push.
Whoa. There we go. Now it spills over. Now it's real. Cameras are getting tossed. We got the people in the suits coming out.
Suits are coming in. Gonna be some racial slurs flying around there, probably.
This isn't the 80s anymore. This isn't the 70s.
Actually, you're right.
To say this is a progressive brawl, Phil. Okay, all right.
There's actually no punches
get
thrown.
respected in this brawl. Okay.
Dante just showing his
that
Italian
little
side
kid there with the
man.
phone recording. You don't want to have any slurs on his phone for him to show his classmates. So you have to keep it PG-13 while you're slugging this guy.
You big
How that
dummy,
works.
you're little safe words.
You're a jerk. Come here,
You poopy head.
come here, dang it.
So this was like, and this is probably the
wild.
biggest brawl. It was the only brawl of the year. There really hasn't been. I mean, I don't know. We don't see the West Coast team. So DiVincenzo gets tossed. His coach will get tossed, and then I think he high fives his coach.
I love the high five that's leaving the court.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
See, in hockey, this would be considered part of the game. They got to blow off steam. But in the NBA, this is wrong. So, like one league compared to the other, they don't.
Well, and the NBA I've learned from you guys and from doing this show with you guys.
Still just holding this guy back.
That it's soft nowadays. Because those brawls we watched from the 80s and early 90s were crazy compared to this.
Yeah. After the Mouse in the Palace.
I mean, like, but like there was also, I was watching like the Celtics documentary, and there was like, they were talking about like the big rivalry when Larry Bird was on the team, and it was like, there was a huge rivalry between the Sixers and the Celtics. And there was like a player that like legitimately punched a fan one time, like, and I mean, it was just like, and then he didn't even get thrown out; he just got back in the game. Like,
it's pre high def, pre smartphone. You can get away with shit back then.
And it was on TV, but like they're like, okay, he's back in the game. He just punched a fan. That's what.
So that
boys will be boys.
Well, what did that fan do to deserve it? That's my question.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So this game was getting chippy, and he's getting in his face, and you could see. Dante went to push him off. He's like, "Don't push me off." So tempers just exploded there.
That was a good camera angle right here.
This is a pretty crazy fight for nowadays. Like the fact that like DiVincenzo, like of all people, like just like again, I keep calling him a little man, but like, I mean, he yoked him up. He yoked him up and he threw him down. Like that is, I mean, that's not punches being thrown. I would probably
it's wrestling
in terms of a rating.
It was like wrestling.
Are we going to grade? The thing is, are we going to grade this on a curve, like
a modern curve?
Yeah, we almost have to. I feel like, Brian. That's a good point.
I mean, this has to be a 10 in modern terms because they actually fought.
In modern terms, I would give it maybe an 8. Still, 8.5. You could talk me up to.
I mean, my knee-jerk reaction is a 6.
But we're grading on a curve, though, I thought.
Yeah, if we're grading on a curve, then I'd probably say a 7.
Oh, as far as an all-timer, this is like a 4, okay? But I see the point you're making is valid, Brian. Yeah, definitely.
But like, I mean, I don't think you see enough fights like this nowadays. And like fact that he just tossed him down, the fact that he tossed him down was, and then it breaks up pretty quick. But then it's
going to be a suspension.
You're right. It gets bonus points for the fact that it spilled off the court and into the first row of fans. That's pretty
cameraman.
Well, I mean, that's amazing. This is amazing. Like, I would love to be honestly, as someone who had Julius Randle like fall on him by accident, this would be 10 times more of a better story. It'd be like, like 10 NBA players were brawling in front of me.
Everybody with their phone. Look, we've never.
I just sat there with my popcorn. I just sat there and sipped like it was on TV. It was amazing. Yeah.
Everybody with their phone, just film it. Like none of the fights we've done was there anything like that. It was always, oh my god,
I would love to find that phone footage. That's what we should have done, was try to find that little kid's phone, because you know it's all posted somewhere.
He's probably got it like trademarked, and he's got an agent already. Talk to the lady. He's like, there
definitely is like the middle-aged mom with the glasses. She's literally yelling, "Stop!" Like she's literally yelling this. She's literally being the substitute teacher yelling.
I am to put you all in detention if you don't stop.
Look, she's saying stop. Yeah, she's saying, I see her with the glasses on.
And then you got the little kid with the phone
look at
too.
Her. Stop! Right next to the guy, the ball guy next to.
I like this guy on the very left here, the old guy with the glasses. He's not even fazed by this. He's like, this is back in the war.
Like, this ain't
nothing all the time.
This is how men play basketball.
He's just calling them all pansies the whole time. He's like, pussies. He's like, I watched Larry Bird beat up Wilt Chamberlain. Okay.
Yeah. You call it a fight? There's no blood on the floor.
Stop! That's incredible. She's telling them to stop. It's gonna
and then
actually do something.
Oh, you definitely got the phones out, of course. You
Oh
got the people
yeah,
that are smart and they're like the little kids with the phones. So that would be the best. That would be the best game of my life. I mean,
Best
you
game
don't
ever,
get better
Dad.
than watching an on-court brawl right there. Like
this is
that's the
great.
tip.
We haven't done a brawl in a few months in the show.
By the way, imagine being like a specter at Malice in the Palace. Like, imagine being in the stands and the story that you have for the rest of your life. Just being like, really... hey, remember when Ron Artest fought a fan and then all of us fans tried to storm the court and fight an NBA team too?
So
remember
Malice
when
in
the fan attacked Jermaine O'Neal and he just knocked him the fuck out?
Malice in the Palace was 2008, so like.
I know. I think it was earlier than 2008, dude.
I thought it was 2004.
No, I just looked at. Well, let me see. I looked it up.
It's definitely earlier than 2008. Obama was not president.
No, wasn't this year the 20-year anniversary of it?
No, you're right. I looked at the wrong thing. Okay, so Malice.
God damn it, Mike! And we come to you. We're the degenerates on the show. You're supposed to be. You're
2004.
Sports nerd.
2004. Yeah. So cell phone video was barely a thing, you know.
Oh no, I don't even think.
I mean, you're lucky somebody had a Razor flip phone back then. No, iPhones weren't out until I think 2007 or 8, and they weren't common until like 10 or 12. So that was almost a decade before.
There's no iPhone back then. So.
No, definitely not.
That was so long ago, but it really wasn't. But it was.
It was long ago, baby.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next thing. Mike, you pulled some ads. Or I think Brian, you pulled an ad. I don't know what you guys found this week.
So Brian found this ad earlier. We're gonna go right to it. It's a Michael Jordan ad. We're gonna take a look at this, and then we have a couple baseball ads. So let's keep with basketball and go to the Michael Jordan ad.
Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I led you to believe it was easy when it wasn't. Maybe I made you think my highlights started at the free throw line and not in the gym. Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner. That my game was built on flash and not fire. Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game. Or maybe you're just making excuses.
Wow, guys, we just got emasculated by Michael Jordan.
That's what he does.
It's just like we're just inspired right now.
Yeah,
look at me. I went to a concert and my back hurt from standing for 4 hours, and Michael Jordan's basically calling me a pussy right now.
Didn't he win an NBA Finals game with like 101 fever or something crazy?
It was the flu game when he was. I forget. I guess they were in Indiana. I forget where.
Oh no! It was definitely.
They poisoned his food in the hotel.
Game. It was Utah Jazz. It was like I think it was the finals, and it was Utah Jazz, and he had food poisoning. A lot of people think he was poisoned on purpose, like someone poisoned his food.
The flu game,
so he could, so he.
Could so it wasn't a flu; it was food poisoning.
It was. That's what they said. It was food poisoning. He had like terrible food poisoning. He was like throwing up constantly.
Yeah. That'd be cool if like he just put a diaper on under his uniform.
Yeah.
So it was just like. Run to the nearest Kmart, because back then it was Kmart, and get me a big box of Depends right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. It was like everyone says it was the flu, but like if you watch The Last Dance, it was. He said it was something he ordered takeout, and he ate takeout, and it just completely destroyed his stomach.
It might have just been the food in Indianapolis also. I'm not just being the problem. I mean,
I don't. Again, it was in Utah, so it was like those.
I thought it was in Indianapolis. Yeah,
so blame the Mormons if anything.
Yeah, it was Game 5 of the '97.
The Romney family had money on that game. Okay, they weren't going to let it happen.
I mean, I love this commercial. I mean, definitely. I mean. It gives you chills watching this commercial.
Yeah.
You definitely get inspired. And you're definitely like, holy shit. But it's also like, of course, Michael Jordan is such a narcissist in a way that he's just like, maybe I was just too good and you all suck. Maybe let me just remind you how amazing I was. and how you guys will not even get in the NCAA. You guys won't even make it to the finals.
Yeah, exactly, Brian. After the camera turned off, after the speech is over, he says to all those kids, like, look, you and you're all just a bunch of white crackers. You're never going to make it in the NBA. You suck. You're too short. You're a little bitch. And then he drops like 4 N-bombs and just leaves. And that's it.
Or he just spits in their face.
Yeah, exactly. Calls him a bitch.
and they just try to collect the spit because they think his DNA will get into there. Like, thank you so much. Now I'm blessed. This is how it's like a more gross and sad version of like Mike. Waiting a little bow wow, put his shoes on, except he has to spit in their mouth.
He was like, "Fuck them."
I'm going off the rails. I'm going real gross tonight.
Hey, it's whatever you're into, Brian. I don't judge.
That's gonna be my new Pornhub category is Michael Jordan spitting in the mouth.
Yeah, like a mother bird to her chicks.
Yeah, that's got to be
mother bird regurgitating the food for the babies. It's Michael Jordan's. On DNA.
All right, what do we got next?
Jordan, Michael, that's how he feeds all the kids at the training camp. Is he just eats food and he spits it in their mouth. He's like, now run suicides right now. Now go.
You flew like
have
me.
Time to swallow. Just inject right now.
I played with 103 temperature. You
don't have time to chew. I chewed it for you. Now go.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I also love that. It's one of those things where like I watch that video and like I know all the kids there are like shitting their pants because Michael Jordan is giving them like a scared straight speech.
Yeah,
and they're like, wow, all these kids are looking at Michael Jordan. They're like, I'm so inspired to go and be the best I can be. And then their dad is in the corner like, I've been saying the exact same thing. And you're like, shut the fuck up, Dad. Michael Jordan is talking right
now. Michael Jordan time.
Okay.
Listen, Michael Jordan is our substitute gym teacher today.
Games.
Yeah.
I like to tell myself that Michael Jordan in his free time does substitute gym teaching. Like that'd be cool if that was a thing. You know,
he'd be the meanest substitute teacher ever.
He'd be amazing.
He'd destroy all the children. Michael Jordan, as someone who like loves and hates him, I mean, I like admire the fuck out of his work ethic. Obviously, who doesn't? And he's obviously incredible. But like, he's also just. I mean, he is a sociopath too. He is like the one time he talks about some tough shit in the Last Dance, but the one time he like breaks down and starts crying is when he talks about how much he loves winning and how much winning means to him. He's like, cut the cameras. It's like, dude, we just talked about your dad getting murdered on the side of the highway. You just were like, yeah, I mean, whatever. But then, like,
I mean, you win some dads, you lose some dads. Am I right? But basketball,
yeah. But he was just like, but in terms of winning, you should cut the cameras. Although, not for nothing, there is that video after when he wins the finals after his dad died. Yeah, and then he's just like fucking bawling, like weeping in the locker. Then again, some people think he murdered him, but or got him murdered. But
that is for another time and place.
That is for another time and place.
Another podcast.
What do you got next, there, Mike? I know you have some baseball ads. You said.
All right, so we're gonna go to the always fun and funny Seattle Mariners with one of their commercials. So This is one I just saw the beginning of it. I'm like, we gotta watch this. So Brian, you'll like this one. Check this out.
You're good, You're good. Christopher Walken? Frank Sinatra.
Justin Bieber.
Are you talking to me? Huh? Are you talking to me?
Jack Nicholson.
Brad Pitt.
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers.
We named the dog Indiana.
Sean Connery.
Mariners baseball. Get after it.
Shaken, not stirred.
That's awesome.
De Niro, right? Brian, it's great.
I mean, a spot on De Niro impression too. I got to give it to him. A spot on De Niro impression. But like, what is this? Like, I don't get the point of this commercial. Like, what the Seattle Mariners are just they don't know anything about movies.
It's just promoting the season is coming, or the team. They always do these Philly
I guess
commercials.
Brian wasn't on the show with us. So basically, a lot of the teams that aren't the Yankees and Mets that are in like different markets, these are just local commercials that they run in the area to try to get people to come to games. Like these are just ticket commercials is what they are basically.
Yeah.
The Oakland A's have some really funny ones. We're gonna get into more of that as promised eventually. But
all right,
yeah, the Mariners are pretty funny too.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, no, this is definitely funny, but like I just was like, wait a minute, why did this make me want to go buy tickets? Like, just like looking at it through like a critical eye, I'm like, okay, so like none of them know who Robert De Niro is. So it's basically
dumb.
Yeah, it's just saying so fuck Robert De Niro. That's what the Seattle Mariners are. Nobody in Seattle ever watched Goodfellas at all. So good talk. Good talk.
Oh man.
Awkward pause.
I just think it's funny that Ichiro does like does the James Bond thing in his accent, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, clearly."
And it works.
I mean, what they should have done is they should have just dubbed Sean Connery's voice over Ichiro. That would have been like 10. That would have been 10 times better. And everyone's like, Sean Connery, this guy gets it. Yeah. Fucking Ichiro gets it, and he's not even from here. He can do a Sean Connery impression, but you do a shit Harrison Ford impression, my guy. And then he's like, it's not Harrison Ford, goddammit. And it's like, whatever. Okay, Jack Nicholson, Al Pacino. And it's like, no, none of those.
If you look at the Mariners logo on that jersey in the background, I feel like there's like a hidden Nazi symbol in it.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing.
Jesus Christ,
I really was.
Fucking going dark.
It just caught my eye, and look at it, right?
Absolutely,
it's not a good logo to blur out.
So you think there's going to be tiki torches at the next Seattle Mariners game? Is that what
tiki night at the Mariners?
Yeah. Do you think Elon's going to throw out the first pitch and he's going to chop it? He's going to throw it with a chop like that? Is that what you think is going to happen?
He's going to come out and salute. Yeah, he's going to be the umpire. That's how he calls balls and strikes.
You've heard of a third strike. Well, get ready for the third. Okay. Anyway,
God damn it,
you said it backwards.
Boo! Cancel. Boo!
That was enjoyable. I thoroughly liked that.
If it came out of Mike, I'd be like, amazing. But you're
right. You're right. No,
that was me. I would get it. Yeah, it's a typical Mike joke. So here's the last one. This one's a minute long, but it's an old commercial for Life cereal featuring the great Casey Stengel. So this should be interesting.
All right.
Let's take a look at this.
All right, well, let's do it.
Westbrook Van Boris here. The great Quaker Life debate rages on. Is Quaker Life an adult cereal, or is it for kids? Adult. Casey Stengel is speaking.
Quaker Life is the most nutritious, ready-to-eat oat cereal. Protein, thymolene, riboflavin, niacin, a little bit of sweetening. Now, for a ball player to execute on a ball field, he has to have a light stomach. And when he has a light stomach, he can participate more in a ball field. He can execute every play in the game. He can go to first base faster than he can with a heavy stomach.
Thank you, Mr. Stengel. And now for the Sandlot League viewpoint, here is shortstop Jimmy Smith.
Mr. Stengel may be a great backer, but he sure doesn't know much about baseball. Us ball players eat Quaker Life because it tastes so good, period.
Nutritious enough for adults, good tasting enough for kids. Quaker Life must be for everybody.
That scared the shit out of me for whatever reason. Casey Stengel's face like that, like him just angry, yelling at a child. Like it didn't make me feel comfortable at all.
Casey Stengel did come up with the term "amazing Mets," so you give him credit for that. He's a banker. What is
why is he a banker too? Like, why is he cosplaying as a banker?
I feel like they zoomed in a little too far on Stengel, don't you?
Yeah.
This is a little bit disturbing of a close-up for me. I think Brian's got
teeth and he's
It's such a disturbing close-up too. He's just got like he's like angry and old, like, and it's also like he just looks like the type of guy that probably like yelled at Jackie Robinson, like, you shouldn't play baseball. Like, that's the resting face he has on right now.
Resting
also like the
face.
60s color TV that's giving me like, oh, okay, this is when segregation was the thing.
I like the little ginger kid. He's wholesome. He's kneeling up on the thing so he can be tall enough to speak at the podium, and he's just saying it tastes good. Yeah. I like it.
He's got the typical little kid accent from back then. Every kid sounded like a sitcom kid or something,
So
what
year was this, Mike?
Do
we know?
It's definitely the 60s. I don't know the exact year.
This has the grainy footage and the
yeah. But that was the beauty of Casey Stengel. Nobody knew what the hell he was talking about. He just go on and on and on. And he was known as the old professor. And he was probably the greatest baseball manager that ever lived. So.
I like that the kid told me he didn't know anything about baseball. That's pretty cool.
You didn't know anything about baseball.
Sorry.
Baseball.
Yeah, this is disturbing to look at up close for that long. It just is.
It reminds me of almost like this was a scene that they made to look old for the movie Unfrosted, the Seinfeld movie. You know, like it just has that vibe. Like it's just too real to be true kind of thing. You know, like it's just so spot on for the time that it almost seems like made up. You know,
it's also supposed to be the Great Debate, and it was like, you know, honestly, like none of their arguments convinced me at all to eat rice cereal. So I'm still on the fence. I have to say, I came away, and I'm still, neither argument convinced me. So, not the little kid, not Casey Stengel and his big old people ears.
just flesh hanging off.
Just honkers, just literally just.
Yeah. Look how little milk they put in that bowl of cereal. Like
that bothered me too, Mike.
Fill that thing. I did that the other day. I ran out of milk and I already poured it into the bowl. I'm like, I have to eat it, and it was just so disgusting with not enough milk. Like, how could you eat life cereal?
Have you ever done water with your cereal?
No, I thought of that. It's just too weird.
Certain cereals,
poor like you, Phil.
No, it is a poor people thing. But certain cereals you can actually do.
Well,
you can do with water. Like if it's sugary enough, it's still
like
fine.
Trix or something. Yeah,
Frosted Mini Wheats can do it. Yeah, Trix, Lucky Charms, any of those cereals you can do with water. I don't recommend it, but if in a pinch, if you really fucking gotta have your
Wheaties,
Trix or whatever. Yeah. No, Wheaties probably taste like garbage.
Not Wheaties, yeah.
I have Cheerios, cornflakes, all the plain cereals are garbage. It has to be like a sugared enough cereal to where it still tastes so.
Yeah. I use almond milk, so that's just water and almonds. So technically, I kind of
that's your poor rural white trash.
That's my lactose intolerant.
Well, no, that's just Trader Joe's. Mike is bougie on us. He's not fucking with your water, your water and Trix cereal. He's like, go back to the trailer where you came from, you trash.
that's my lactose intolerant deficiency right there.
What, when you can't milk the cow in the backyard, you gotta put water in your cereal? You dirty hick.
Where you get it from, the water pump?
When you can't churn butter in the back and make dairy yourself, you got to put water. Well,
the backyard Hickwoods of Connecticut.
Now we have a life hack for our fellow poors that watch this show.
Our fellow poors.
Afford milk and can't afford, because we can't afford anything anymore.
Just use water.
I mean, no one can afford groceries. We're all going to die in poverty. But so water with your cereal. Okay,
that's what I'm saying, guys.
There's going to be plenty of it coming.
Sponsored by our new sponsor, Nosebleeders, sponsored by water and cereal. Okay.
And beyond water. Water and
the
cereal.
Only sponsor that'll take us is H2O and your cereal.
I gotta love how I lightly asked that question and you both just pounced on it. That was...
that's comedy. You gotta turn the littlest thing into the biggest discussion.
I thought that was more common than it was. I guess I was just kind of poor.
I've heard. I also did it too.
I've heard of it.
I'm busting your balls, but I've also been in poverty too as well. So yeah, I've experienced it. Anyway,
great ad.
What a sad show. We covered poverty,
great ad,
Nazism.
Great ad. Pretty good fight for 2025.
Yeah.
I miss Dante too, as well.
Yeah, I wish he was back in the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know what would be great if he did the Locker Room Talk podcast, the roommate.
Oh, podcast. The roommates, yeah,
the roommate podcast, and I said Locker Room Talk. Where the fuck did I get that from? But
yeah,
if he did the roommate podcast. And he talked about it there. That's definitely an episode I would listen to if he just recapped the whole thing. He's probably going to get suspended for a few games, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, there's not much season left, so, he might be done for the year at this point. But, yeah, he's not a Knick. What are you going to do? We'll see what the Knicks can pull off here in the next.
All right.
They got to play the Celtics and the Cavs for the season's over.
This was fun. We're all poor, is what we've established.
But baseball is back. So that's
baseball is back. And that's the only thing we have to root for.
Everyone's happy.
I'm going to end the recording here.
See you guys later.
Okay,